Congratulations, you have taken a massive step to completely change your life, change your finances, regain control of your money to give yourself the life that you deserve. I have been using this particular budget for over 10 years on a moderate teacher salary. My wife stays at home and she works 1 day a week as a nurse, and we are raising 4 kids. So it does wonders with your finances, even on a moderate salary like myself. When you look at this budget, you will see 2 columns. You will see a projected column and you will see an actual side column. So what that means is the projected amount is what you come up with prior to the month starting. It's a plan for where your money's going to go, how much you're going to spend in each particular category. The actual side is what you actually did throughout the month. And then at the very end of the month, you see how did you do. So the system works like this. You sit down prior to the month and you fill out the left-hand side here where it says projected expenses. The easy ones to do are the fixed expenses. Those would be things like the bills that never change, like your mortgage, your cell phone bill, and subscriptions and so on. The ones that you really want to rein in and you want to really plan for are those variable expenses. A lot of them are down in this personal section down here. A variable expense could be something like clothes, it could be something like eating out, and so on. So we need to have a plan for those specifically and try to hit those marks. Middle of the month, so about the 15th of each month, anywhere around there, give or take a few days, you'll want to sit down and make sure you input all of your numbers in this weekly sheet on the right hand side here. The weekly sheet will then populate the actual amount throughout the month, so you don't have to do any work there. So what that does is you'll sit down, it'll hold you accountable, and it'll show you how close you are in terms of hitting your numbers. So for example, if you budgeted $100 for clothes and you're already at $95 halfway through the month, you now know, okay, that's like a no spend zone. I need to rein that in and stop spending money on clothes. And what you'll do is you'll shade this little box right here red, and it tells you to stop spending money in that particular category. If you're way under, you now know you're good to go and you can continue to spend freely in there. So really a budget is very freeing. You'll also notice a few formulas on the left-hand side, which you will change eventually, but I wanted you to see it when you download this to see kind of the big 4. At mortgage should be 30% or less of your net income, and your giving should be 10% or greater of your net income, and your investing or savings should be approximately about 15% or even greater. And then your car payment should be approximately 10% or less, ideally 0 on the car. But we all know that sometimes we need to buy a car. Those big 4, if you can keep those under control, your life will be in a really, really good spot in terms of your money. But that's why those formulas are there. You can erase those once you put your actual numbers in there because you will need to put your projected amount in there. When the month is over, you do the same thing you did in the middle of the month. You sit down, you go back to this weekly sheet tab, you make sure you input all of those numbers for the last couple months. Now, for me personally, I go to my credit card statement because I basically use my credit card for every expense and pay it off in full each month. And I will look at where I spent my money and I go ahead and input those numbers in this weekly budget here. And then once everything's inputted between you and your spouse or just you, you'll go back to that monthly income statement and you will now look and see how you finished. A lot of times you might have made some mistakes, and that's okay. You got to give yourself some grace, but you look and see how you did. Did you spend too much? Did you have a little extra money, which would be nice? And you'll adjust moving forward. So a lot of times what we will do is we will see a category where we maybe overspent too much, and now we got to figure out what can we do differently. For example, groceries. Groceries have gotten very, very expensive lately. So we've looked at our groceries and we've thought, what meals can we do to save some money? What grocery stores are a little bit cheaper, like an Aldi? Or could we bulk shop to Costco and get more whole chickens or whatever it may be? So there's ways to save money, and this will actually help you get there a little bit quicker. I really hope that this video helps you feel confident to use this budget. Be patient. It takes about 3 months to really get this down. And if you have any questions at all as you're working through this or something's confusing, please send me a message and I'll be more than happy to help you. Happy budgeting, and you got this.